Buenas noches a las todos y bienvenidos a los Lobos de la Lucha. Good evening to all my English speakers, and welcome to Los Lobos de la Lucha, your weekly CMLL Post-Show here at BC WrestlePod. My name is Mikey El Jefe of BC WrestlePod, and joined with me for once again is my partner in crime. He is invited to the Quince always. Papa also himself, Wills. I'm happy to have you
Hola.
back.
Hola, everyone.
So I'm excited. We're gonna have a good time tonight. So we are here to specifically talk about the Friday, May 22nd edition of CMLL, particularly Viernes Espectacular. So before we get into all the action, to make this intro really quick, we go live on a weekly basis up on a bunch of days of the week. You can pick whatever is your favorite streaming site. You can also follow us on our social medias at BC WrestlePod, where you can see report cards and shenanigans and predictions. And Will just left me, so I'm gonna continue on though. But we also have merchandise at our store, bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. And we also have a coffee bot. Coffee bot. We pay for pay-per-views. If you want to donate, cool. If not, we love you being here. Damn, Will.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. I said social medias and you just bamfed.
I'm like, what the hell? I was just sitting here like, doo doo, and also it was like, boop. It's like, I'm like, okay.
Wrestling gods for 30 minutes, please. I've been looking forward to this all day. Please. Anyways, so that is all the intro.
Weird.
So let's get into that.
Yes.
So Viernes Espectacular, May 22nd, 2026. And we have 5 matches that we're going to talk about. So let's get into what opened up the show for us this past Friday, which of course is a match relampago, so a lightning match. So a una caída with a 10-minute time limit. And both of these boys are Escuela boys. So, of course, in our opening bout, we have Tornado taking on this massive human that is known as Estudiante Jr. So, I'm not going to lie. When the Torneo de Escuelas were happening earlier this year, and I just saw the card, I was like, oh, okay, cool. He looks, Estudiante Jr., I was like, okay, he's giving me power, wrestler, love that. And then when he made his entrance, I'm like, my God, this man is built. He is a shit brick house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, calm yourself. I have to be professional.
No, you don't. Whatever.
In the words of Trixie and Katya, welcome to where this is our show and not yours.
Exactly. I liked the juxtaposition of these two. Big and then svelty.
Yes. I was like, all the flavors. We love it.
Yep.
So again, this match Relampago, I thought this was a lot of fun. I really did. Again, I had to watch it twice because the first time I was being a perpetual deviant staring at people. I was like, and then I was like, I gotta be professional here really quickly. Let me actually take some notes. And all I wrote down is, damn, is Estudiante Jr. be throwing Tornado like it's nothing.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, damn.
Yeah, but I kind of figured that was going to happen anyway. I mean, the minute they came in, I was like, oh, okay, Tornado is going to get tossed around.
He literally will be flying like a tornado. It'll be like, it's just like, wee.
Mm-hmm. You got to be this high to ride this ride.
Yes, Frank Ocean did not prepare him, and the song lied to Tornado because a tornado did fly around in my room before you came, except Tornado was not having fun with it. Frank Ocean did not prepare him for this match.
No, it was crazy. I was like, wow, he was being tossed around a lot.
And normally, I'm used to okay, in CMLL, I'm used to back and forth. I was just like, well, we probably know what the result is, but it's a little more even. This felt like a 70-30 split.
Yeah, it really did. It was like, it was very Estudiante Jr. heavy.
Yep. And it seems to be that's how we're kind of been building him. So in the few matches since the Torneo de Escuelas earlier this year, Estudiante Jr. has been like on the Puebla shows and the Guadalajara shows. And now he is making like I don't want to say like a weekly occurrence on Viernes Espectacular, but they are putting a lot of stock in Estudiante Jr. And I mean, I won't say no. But at the same time, I was just like, now that I think about the landscape of the men's division in CMLL currently, I was like, we really don't have too many, like, I'm going to throw you around for the majority of this match type of luchadores.
We really don't. You know, that's really funny. We really don't. Because I was kind of thinking about that, and I was like, I mean, who do we have? I mean, like that's like that. I mean, it's like, you know,
like
it's
the only other person that I can think of, but he doesn't make a lot of too many appearances on Fridays at least, is like Stuka Jr. and Hijo de Stuka Jr. and Gran Guerrero too. Gran Guerrero, yeah. Boy. But
yeah, he's like, but Gran Guerrero is more wide.
That's true,
and kind of shorter. I mean, Estudiante, he was like sort of.
He is literally like built like a brick house. Seriously.
Yeah, seriously. I was just like, damn. Okay.
I was like, I'm not gonna complain. And hey, I'm here for like pure power wrestling in Lucha Libre. Like honestly.
Absolutely.
So, it should come to no surprise as we talk about this, though, that Estudiante Jr. wins. And I was just like, when I look at Tornado, he like after the match, it's the epitome of darling, you tried. And I appreciate that you tried.
Yeah.
But damn.
And you know, because I was the whole time I was like, okay, if Tornado wins this match, I'm gonna be a little sus on that. So it's just like, no way. This man, he is not gonna be walking out of this ring. I mean, Estudiante Jr. was basically tossing him out of the ring.
For reals. And here's the thing, like in any medium, whether it's CMLL in the States, other international brands, like as wrestling fans, we always suspend our disbelief for what we're watching. Because I was just like, you have to suspend your disbelief, like any performing art medium. Yes, Lucha Libre is a performing art. However, there is no way in God's green given earth that Tornado, especially what we saw leading into the finish, if he won, I would have been like, CMLL is like, I love you, girl, but
what you doing?
I was like, make it make sense, bestie. And thankfully they did make it make sense.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's true.
So fun opener. Definitely was fun to watch Estudiante Jr. and watch Estudiante Jr. throw people around.
Toss him around. It was like, wow.
Like get this man some pizza dough and call it a day.
Seriously.
So we go from our opening Relampago match into some Amazonas. Yes, we got a Relevo Australiano de Amazonas. So this, of course, is the team of AEW's Thunder Rosa teaming up with India Sweet and Gara Negra to take on the team of Dark Silhouette, my girl, Reina Isis, and also a shit brick house in her own right, Miss Olympia. The Greek shit brick house.
Shit, you're not kidding.
I was like, God, listen, I like it. I love my wrestlers both ways. And I'm just like, Olympia, you can step on me and bench press me anytime.
Indeed.
Like, I am 250 some odd pounds ready to go for you.
Bring it on, sister.
Oh my gosh. This was another fun match too. Yep. It definitely was your standard técnico versus ruda bout. Again, me personally, because I'm a person who does the AEW post show, and that is where Thunder Rosa is signed to, and she is also signed to CMLL with this dual contract, and I love it. I love seeing Thunder Rosa get TV time, even if she's not getting it over in AEW, which I'm still mad about. But you know what? I will take what I can. And Thunder has always stated that she wants to be in Mexico, and she's always loved wrestling in Mexico. So it was nice to see. I also like that they teamed India and Gara with her too, because those two individually, India last year especially had a really phenomenal year, and Gara Negra, who is new and has only been here for a couple of months, has been really cool to see her kind of develop into her own. And they definitely had a monumental task ahead of her because you have Dark Silhouette, who is like the captain of Las Rudas in that whole division. Honestly, I've never seen her play technical or lean technical. She's just like, I'm gonna curb stomp your face in, and that's just how it's gonna be.
Mhm.
And then of course Reina goes both ways, and I love her. Olympia is just again throwing. She and Estudiante Jr. are just throwing people, and it is great to watch.
Yep. Yep. And the funny thing is that's kind of what I expect whenever she's on the card. I was like, okay, they brought her in because they want people to be thrown around. And lo and behold, she
That
was
is exactly
tossing some bitches around.
Yes, the Rudas did not make it easy for our Technicos team, but of course the Technicos would find a way back, and it would be Thunder Rosa who would do the stomps to the Tiggle Biddies, is what I'm calling it, because I was like, damn, someone check on Dark Silhouette because those look like it hurt afterwards.
Seriously.
But after a stomp to the Tiggle Biddies, Thunder Rosa does a roll up for the win, and the technical team of Thunder Rosa, India Sweet, and Gara Negra pick up the victory here. This was a fun match. I really did appreciate. I liked it. I appreciate what we got, and yeah, like I said, I love seeing Thunder get some reps in here in Arena Mexico.
Indeed.
Indeed.
It was so good. I mean, it was. I love the Amazonas, and I love even their worst match. I love. It could be the worst match ever, and I'm gonna be like, get it, girls.
Do it.
That's right. Represent the ladies.
100%. So I'm gonna have this card like stay up here for a little bit. But before that, I didn't get a picture of this, but I was just like, first of all, we're gonna talk about how we had a shameless but not so shameless NFL like advertisement in person in the arena, because you had Neon come out in Pittsburgh Steeler jersey and colors. I was just like, and then I remembered, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I remember reading something that the Pittsburgh Steelers changed their color scheme to certain things. And then when I saw the color, I'm like, who said that Dookie Doo-Doo Brown was a good choice?
Yeah, no. I don't know what that's about.
I was like, this is what happens when you let old white men make decisions like that. Like, what is happening?
Seriously. I'm like, ew.
I was like, this. And the reason I bring this up is normally I wouldn't talk about this, but like in the last month or so, I mean, obviously the NFL has some of this NFL like seasonal schedule. They play matches in Mexico for the crowd, which I was like, that's cool and everything. And you know what? There's a lot of NFL players and football players in general that love Mexican lucha libre too. The reason I bring this up, though, especially in the last month and a half, the amount of celebrities that have been frontside for Arena Mexico that we come to find out was there. Like, we had the whole Korean boy band BTS there like 2 weeks ago in the crowd wearing masks. We had like South American superstar J Balvin was there. I was just like, damn, CMLL just be pulling all these celebrities from. It's insane to me that everyone's just like, yo, CMLL is getting this coin and I'm not mad. Now, what I was mad at, though, is I was just like, stupid Rocky Romero. No, I was kidding. Listen, here's the thing, right? Rocky Romero, I know you are a rudo, but sir, let's just say your moniker of Azúcar is just like, hi. I was like, I love you, Rocky. You're fantastic. But let's talk about this match really quickly. We get a Relevo Australiano, which is another CMLL versus La Familia de Don Callis. So the AEW from AEW, we have Don Callis family, which is being represented once again by CMLL and AEW dual contracted star Hechicero, Mr. Rocky Azúcar Romero, and El Clon, who is continuing to clone these luchadors, because on the Saturday show, he wore a mask similar to Mascara Dorada. I was like, damn, he's just cloning people out here. It's insane. And they were taking on the team, a very interesting team, but given the fact that Místico is kind of on the shelf for a hot second, because he is injured for right now, but not for too long, I hope. We have 2/3 of Sky Team, which is Mascara Dorada and Leon. Makes sense, but your técnicos. And they teamed up with Barbaro Cavernario. I was like,
I know.
I was like, this energy is something. And honestly, I was kind of here for it, but it did take me a little bit to get it. I was like, this energy is like, the vibes are 50-50.
Yeah.
But I was just like, damn, no Flip Gordon. You couldn't got any other technical. They're like, nah, let's put Barbaro Cavernario. And I was like, okay, he can do both. But I was very interested to see how he was going to play. And honestly, though, as we always see from the Grand Prix for the men and the women, the CMLL stars, they might have beef with each other, but it's like F Americans. Like, it is on site with everyone. And that is exactly what this was. The CMLL team did their best, and we did get we went back and forth, but ultimately it was the Don Callis family of AEW to pick up the win. And I'm just like, we're 4 weeks out until Forbidden Door, so something's gonna happen, and I cannot wait. I just really, I said this, I say this a lot, but as someone who watches all the wrestling, and especially since Mascara Dorada has a dual contract as well with AEW, Mascara Dorada, I was like, damn, this 23-year-old is killing it both here in Mexico and in the States. It is fantastic. He is a star. Neon is really fun. Barbaro Cavernario is really fun. I'm like, damn, CMLL, you gonna get this win at some point, but the Don Callis family is running roughshod over all right now in Mexico.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to Will's TED Talk.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you.
Okay.
Other than
cool.
it was a great match. I mean, I enjoyed it.
I was like,
I mean, I enjoyed the match, but other than that, that's all I got for you. So it's like all that other stuff. I'm not privy to.
That is why I am here. I am your encyclopedia bestie.
Fair enough.
Lucha wrestling storylines is like telenovela. Well, no, I can't say that because I also watch telenovelas. But wrestling is my equivalent to like the people who are passionate about football and soccer and the sports ball in general. Like, now, okay, so I will say that at this point in the show, everything has been a preamble because I was like, I already know what's going to be taking a good chunk of this time, and Lord help us. I was just like, I saw this card and I was just like, we're going to be here for 45 minutes, and we were here for about 45 minutes. Like, this was the elimination match for the Copa Junior. So the way that they worked it out is that the last two standing would go on to this Friday's Viernes Espectacular to fight for the Copa Junior 2026 Cup. And so in this elimination match, we have the following participants, which is a lot of fun, honestly. So you have, going from left to right on the screen, you have Star Jr., Zandokan Jr., Atlantis Jr., Soberano Jr., Angel de Oro, Viano Tres Jr., Brillante Jr., El Cobarte, Mr. Sharpie Eyebrows himself, Hijo de Stuca Jr., and of course, we also have Espanto Jr. So, of course, if you couldn't tell by the name of this cup, the Copa Junior, this is majority of the juniors. This was just a car crash of a match, but I figured it was going to be because we got people in and out, then elimination started happening, and I was just like, I had to ping pong my eyeballs across the screen because we kept changing people inside the ring like people change underwear. It is insane. Like,
oh yeah.
I was just like, first of all, as always, I have to notice Soberano Jr., you and your Met Gala fashion-esque entrance gear. I was just like, get this man to the Met Gala right now.
I know. It's so funny. So funny.
of course, he reappeared last week, but still nice to see Zandakan Jr. be back into the mix from injury, which I appreciate, and also just him be getting back to right what he does best and just being an absolute tool as a rudo to people, especially when he would do the "I'm taller than you" thing to some of these wrestlers.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, yo, that is so disrespectful. I'm here for it.
I love every bit of it.
I was like, listen, sidebar, we need more shit talking in wrestling. I feel like
I
that's what we
agree.
need. And I feel
I
like
agree.
CMLL does a good job with rudos being like shit talkers.
Yeah, I mean, some of the best, personally, some of the best wrestlers were shit talkers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I agree. I think there needs to be more of that. You know, it all sounds scripted. You know, it's like, okay, you're gonna say this, and then you're gonna say this,
Which I'm
as
like,
opposed to, you know.
yeah, I'm like, at some point you need to have at least a through line of how you're gonna begin said scene to end a scene. But like, you don't need to read the script
No.
verbatim. This is not no, and I'm gonna probably get some people mad, but I'm like, this is not actual. I mean, this is theater, but it's not that serious of theater. This is not Shakespeare. You don't need to.
No.
Just give me what I want. Just throw fists, and we're good. And that's exactly what this match did. There was a lot of fists and bodies being thrown around, and when the dust settled, we ended up with our final two. So this Friday, we are going to have Atlantis Jr. and Villano Tres Jr. fight it out for the win. But yeah, this was a fun match. And honestly, this was a 45-minute, just everybody throw people and do things match.
Yeah. It got a little confusing at times.
It did. And I'm like, CMLL, you always be changing the rules for every single cut.
Yeah.
Stick to one type of rule match. Like, what are we doing?
I know. I was just like, I'm confused on. I got confused on the rules of it, you know. And I was like, okay, so wait, what's happening? Right? Wait, what's supposed to happen before this? Wait, I'm confused. Wait, where are we now? Well, it's like, wait a minute. I thought you were. Wait, you weren't eliminated, or
yeah, it got confused. It started to get confusing towards the middle, and then once we started weeding people out, I was like, okay, I'm getting it back up. What I need CMLL to do is like what they did for the beginning of the year cage match, where they literally have like this. They had somebody in a college work on the graphic, but they have an animated version of how, and they were going over how the rules work. We needed that for this one. I was like, this is how the rules work. So I was like, I don't need like a 10-minute presentation. I was like, just give me a quick 30 seconds. This is how the match works. This is how you win. Cool, got it, good. Get to the action. In the words of Celebrity Death Match, let's get it on. Like,
right. Absolutely. So, I mean, because it was especially if you're not familiar enough with it. Like, I'm not familiar enough with it. So, and that's not anyone's fault. That's just, I wasn't familiar with it. So I got a little lost at one point. I wasn't really sure what was happening.
I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah, because I was like, I know it's a wrestling. I know it's a competition for the cup. So I knew that part. But I didn't know how we get to that.
Right.
Again, until we were about middle, little past middle, then I was kind of like, oh, I see what we're doing now. Okay. Then I didn't feel so stupid, but
right. Hang on, I gotta bring her up. Hi, Marshmallow, welcome back. So she is a new follower, new friendo to the chat. And to answer your question, Marshmallow, I have substituted one gay bear for another gay bear in Will. Because that's who Benny is. Benny is my AEW. For those of you who don't know, Benny is my AEW correspondent, my friendo, my other half on the AEW show right now. And I substituted one gay bear for another. So this is Papa Oso, who has, due to life, has been MIA for a little bit. And now he is back here to talk about, Lucha Libre. Marshmallow's just like, hey, Will. So, like I said, again, this Friday we will see Atlantis Jr. and Villano Tres Jr. fight it out for the Copa Junior. That's a lot of juniors in one sentence.
There is a lot of juniors. I know.
So let's move it on to our main event of the evening, which I was just like, this was to send the crowd home match for the night. Of course, this is por el Campeonato Mundial, ROH. So this is for the ROH World Championship. And yes, Marshmallow, this is Lucha Libre like AAA, but it is the other promotion in Mexico, which is CMLL. So again, for the ROH World Champion, the challenger, Volador Jr., who I still need to grow that facial hair back. Like,
seriously.
Gosh, rude. That is what you took away your powers, Volador Jr. When you had the beard, you were winning all these matches, bro. But it's okay. We still love you. And so he was to be taking on our champion, the current Ring of Honor World Champion, El Bandido, or Bandido Joe, Marshmallow is like, why is almost every Lucha Libre wrestler has Junior? OMG. That's because, I kid you not, this is a whole family business. There are generations of families who does this, and apparently, from the stuff that I've been able to research in my free time, there's also a lot of drama and some tea between these wrestling families too. It is truly a soap opera, and I loved it. But no, this is easily my favorite match of the entire card, but that's because I'm a sucker and I love Bandito, and he was my wrestler in 2025, and he continues to put on banging matches. But also, Bandito, I love the color scheme. Like Bandito said, trans rights, and I was like, let's go. Like that color scheme was great. But I was just like, Bandito is just him and Volador Jr. decided, hey, let's just throw each other off of everything that we can.
Yeah.
My goodness, this felt like a championship match, though. I was like, ooh.
And that's what I liked about it. That it felt like a championship match. Like there was something at stake, like seriously something at stake. I was just like, these men are fighting like, if they don't win this and they return home, they're gonna be sleeping with the fishes or something. I mean, it was like, it felt serious. It felt like literally like, if I don't win this, I'm not coming back, guys. This will be the end of me, and you'll find me face down in the river or something. I don't know. It's like literally, it felt.
It is do or die, kids. Do or die.
Yeah. This match was fantastic. It was fantastic, fabulous.
Again, Bandito was a busy boy this weekend because he had this match on Friday, and then he had to fly to New York for Sunday because he had a match at the AEW pay-per-view Double or Nothing, and he also put on a banger on the pay-per-view for AEW too. So it is fantastic stuff. This was easily the best match of the night. Bandito retains the ROH World Championship. Fantastic stuff. I love it. Great things. This was a really fun episode of Viernes Espectacular. And let's preview what's to come this Friday, because very, very fun setup for this card. Because again, like we talked about, we are having the final of the Copa Junior happening this Friday, but we got some other stuff happening too. So let me read. So beginning in the Primera Lucha, we have Oro Jr., Pantera Jr., and Pendulo taking on Robin, Sangre Imperial, and Estudiante Jr. So Estudiante Jr. back on our screen once again. And he's probably going to be tossing fools left and right. So that's going to be fun. Then in the Segunda Lucha, we have some Amazonas action. So we get Tessa Blanchard and Scotty taking on Olympia and Sanelli. I love me some Sanelli. I love her. I'm glad that she's back too. Then in our Match Relampago, going on third, we have Hijo de Blue Panther taking on Hijo del Villano Tres. So that is going to be a fun match. Then in an evento especial, the Rudos versus Rudos. So all 6 participants in this next match are all Rudos, which is very rare to see. But we get the team of Soberano Jr., Calavera Jr., and Calavera Jr. Dos. So Uno y Dos are with Soberano Jr., and they will be taking on Zandokan Jr., Ángel de Oro, and Niebla Roja, Los Hermanos Chavez. So I'm like, that match going to be fun. Then In the Lucha semifinal en relevos increíbles, you have Máscara Dorada and Volador Jr., another crazy, weird pairing, taking on Averno and Esfinge. So very interesting teams here for this one. Given the fact that Máscara and Esfinge, for the most part, are técnicos, and Volador and Jr. and Averno are rudos. And yeah, so I'm interested. But in the main event, the Lucha Estelar Gran Final de la Copa Junior 2026, you have Atlantis Jr. versus Villano Tres Jr., and we will officially crown the 2026 Copa Junior recipient at the end. So looking forward to this Friday one. This is going to be fun. And yeah, that's going to be it for the review portion for CMLL. Again, just a couple of notes of some announcements that got made. So, of course, coming up in a couple of weeks in June, CMLL will be doing their annual Fantastica Mania Mexico show, in which the stars of CMLL will be going up against the stars of New Japan Pro Wrestling, so NJPW. And we also will have some Stardom talent to be represented too, which is the all women's wrestling promotion in Japan. So that's going to be fun. But then they also announced that I believe it is September 12th or 13th. I have to look at the date again. That is the date of the next Aniversario show for CMLL. And if y'all know, we don't do a lot of watch-alongs, but the Aniversario show is the one CMLL show that we do a live watch-along for, because that is the biggest show for CMLL. It is like their equivalent to WrestleMania, and it is some fantastic stuff. So, and if I remember correctly, the date of this year's Aniversario show is just like 1 or 2 days after Mexican Independence Day, which is really, really nice, because I am excited. That is going to be fun. And, you know, that's not until September, but me and Papa Oso will be here, and maybe I can convince Adolfo to at least watch it with us. He doesn't got to review it, but I want him back because I miss our Puerto Rican brother. But anyways, so that is going to be it for us here tonight. Marshmallow, thank you for tuning in and being, in the chat with us. Just some quick programming notes. So as I mentioned on our NXT show earlier this evening, we will not be having an NXT show Wednesday, but we will have a CMLL show. So we're only having one show next Wednesday. And some other programming notes include that our AEW show will be shifting for the next 2 weeks to next Monday and the following Sunday, because it's the end of the school year and I am obligated to do things, and I have to if I want to keep this job. So, no, but it's all good stuff though. Oh my gosh, just 7 more days. 7 more days. And then the school year is fine. Anyways, so that is going to be it for us here. Thank you so much for tuning in from all of us here at BC WrestlePod to you at home. Remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, always deserve to finish your story. I'll see you Friday for our TNA review, where me and Radio Free will probably talk about what we like, laugh hysterically, and just talk a lot of crap about certain things in TNA right now. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.